Hello, everybody. We're going to talk a little bit about social media engagement. Hi, Tony. Today. Yeah, sound good? We will wait just a couple of seconds to get started. Be sure to give me a hello and a hi and to tell me who you are in, excuse me, totally losing my voice here, in the comments. Hi, I run the ship. I think it's Amy. Hi, Jen. Be sure, if you have friends who struggle with, hi Lazy Placy, if you guys have friends that struggle with engagement and getting engagement on social, be sure to share this in Periscope and retweet it and all that good stuff. And of course, I appreciate your hearts all the time. Because that's a really great way of getting engaged with a Periscope and engaged with each other. And the value of getting engaged, and so let's talk about this from that perspective first. Hi, Perry. The value in getting engaged in someone else's content is that you are networking on someone else's platform. You're getting in front of new people. Jen says, my hearts match your hair today. They totally do. Look, we can just blend them right in. That's super fun. So getting engaged with your community, not just on your own pages and not just in your own sort of communities, but everywhere and other places. This is a really good way to make new connections and find other people to follow on Periscope. There are a lot of really good scopers in here right now. Jen, I think it's definitely a sign you should send me lots of hearts. Thank you. I love the hearts, so thank you for those. But getting engaged is a great way to connect. I will encourage you guys probably multiple times today to connect with each other because each of you shares really valuable information. Tony asked who my favorite scopers are. Jen J. Terrell, who is in here, does some really great scopes from a financial place. She has some really powerful information around money. Denise Duffield-Thomas, who's at Denise DT, is another one of my favorites. Holly G Studios, who I think, Tony, she was on with us when we talked yesterday. Jen says Joe Gifford, Laura Husson, Adreen, J. Terrell, JTURRELL. She's leaving the comments right below you. She is amazing. But yeah, connect with each other. Definitely Kimra Luna. She's got a great scopes as well. Brian Fanzo at iSocialFans, with a Z at the end, is another one of my favorites. So many. Yes, Karen Yankovic. I think is it fully spelled out for her? Or is it Karen Y? I'm not sure. J. Terrell says Tara Newman. Oh, I don't follow her. I'll have to follow her. But yeah, and also one of the things I recommend doing just to connect with people here on Periscope, random tip, go into the people who you really like to follow and look at who they're following, because you might find some really cool people. I know I have found some really awesome people in following people who also like Denise Duffield-Thomas. Her followers, I found some really cool people to follow there, or people Denise are following. Definitely. Yeah, follow everyone Stacey and I follow, and you'll find, that's what Jen says, you'll find some really cool people. Definitely everybody I follow. There's also some really cool people that follow me. So, yeah, definitely check those out. But getting engaged, connecting, in the comments below, tell us what you scope about. That way you can connect with each other and say, oh, she scopes about something I would love. He scopes about a great topic. Awesome. That's a great way to connect and get engaged. Now, let's talk about getting your community engaged on social media. If you have questions about that, leave them at any time and I will answer them. But my thoughts on engagement are that they're the whole reason we're doing this. They're the point. Without engagement, there's really very little reason to be on social, because it is about connecting. And it's about conversation, and it's about community. And without that, you're really wasting a lot of time and a lot of internet space. So what are some ways we can get our community more engaged with our social? First, and share yours in the comments below and give me hearts if you agree with anything I say. But first up for me, it's definitely all about asking them questions, having actual conversations. Tony says she scopes about gratitude, leadership, and intentional living. That's awesome. I think I follow you already. I'll have to double check. Anyways, asking them questions, but more so than just asking them questions, being around for the answer, letting that lead to a conversation, having chats about these things. But if you don't open the door, Lacey Placey says she totally agrees about asking questions. Definitely. If you don't ask questions, it's hard for them to know that you want them to engage. Make it easy for them. Make it a no-brainer. And in a weird way, you train your audience to engage by making it really easy for them to engage with you. So get in and say, Tony says people love to talk about themselves. It's true, they do. It gives them a very easy way to do that. So, on Facebook, this is especially critical because engagement goes a long way to getting you in the newsfeed. On Twitter, it's what separates you from the noise. Everywhere, really. It's really critical to get engaged. These scopes are key. If you're not engaging with the people who are commenting, it's going to be really difficult for people to want to come back. A few of you who watched yesterday or in the last couple of days are here because I've talked to you. We've had conversations. Tony's a great example. She was on a scope yesterday. We chatted a little bit back and forth on an Ask Me Anything, I think it was. I had my son with me in the car, and here you are again, and I knew immediately who you were when you came in the room. And this is going to be weird because I'm talking about you, but that was hey, that's cool. She knows who I am because we connected yesterday. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm in another faceless group where no one cares about it, what anybody else is saying about except themselves. That is what sets you apart. That's what makes you different. It's not the asking questions. It's the follow-up. It's the conversation that comes after that. And I feel like you can see me all. It's true, Tony. It's true. You feel like you're having a conversation instead of me broadcasting at you. And that's why if you ever need social media help or you see something I offer that resonates with you, you're more likely to buy it because we've started that know, like, trust. And with Periscope specifically, and I think this is true with YouTube as well, or Facebook video, whenever you talk about video, being able to talk to someone, I think you accelerate that know, like, trust in a big way, because now, like, I'm in your hand right now on the phone, or I'm sitting in front of you on your computer if you're watching on the web. You connect with me because you're seeing me and hearing me talk to you. That's a game changer. That's totally something that sets this relationship apart from random tweets just at you with no replies. So yes, the questions are great, but follow up with a conversation. Having the conversation is really the critical part, the talking back. Lacey Placey says, speaking of questions, I have one for you. I'm ready. Ask me your question. I will answer it. All of these are basically ask me anything. Questions are my favorite part. If you've ever attended one of my webinars, you know that I basically just get through the content so that I can do the Q&A because it's my favorite part. It's true with speaking engagements, webinars, my Facebook group. Lacey Placey said, are you in a mastermind group? I am not currently in a mastermind group. I have been in mastermind groups. Right now I'm working one-on-one with a coach just because that's what I need right now for the way I'm transitioning in my business. I'm sure I will be in masterminds again soon. I'm just kind of all in on my one-on-one coaching right now. But mastermind groups are how I built my business to where I am today. That's for sure. My growth accelerated so much when I joined a mastermind. If you are looking for a mastermind, tweet me and I will absolutely send you some recommendations of some women who run some amazing ones. Also remember that they don't all have to be paid. My first mastermind I ever participated in was actually a group of friends and I who became sort of accountability partners, and we all kind of jumped in together and held each other accountable. But the game changer for me was a paid mastermind that was coupled with one-on-one coaching that I did 2 or 3 years ago now. I think it was 2, but it could have been 3. No, it was definitely 2 years ago. And that was absolutely a game changer. My business tripled, almost quadrupled that year, because I was investing in it and I was looking at it in a totally different way and I was treating it in a totally different way. Can I ask how much it typically costs? It can cost it can be anywhere from free to, the big one I did coupled with one-on-one coaching was with Natalie Lucier. I don't know if she still does it. You would have to look at her website. And it was 12,000, 10,000, something like that. But yeah, there's everything from free to $500,000. So I don't actually know if there's any masterminds that are $500,000, but I'm sure there are. But yeah, find what works for you. Find where you are, and you will grow out of your masterminds. You will change. I mean, I still am a huge Natalie Lucier fan, but I wouldn't still do her mastermind because I'm in a different place now. I need something different. So definitely be sure that you're finding something that matches the place you're at now. If you haven't done anything and you are really stressed about having the money to invest, look at finding some accountability partners with people who have similar goals. Maybe it's around running your first webinar or whatever. I also do one-on-one coaching if you're looking for something like that, which actually used to be a mastermind, BAM, which is now called Business Amplified Mentorship. It used to be the Business Amplifier Mastermind, and we switched it up and changed it up into one-on-one coaching so that I could run it year-round. And that's actually closing in August. I won't be doing it anymore after August. So if you want to look at that, it's at thestaceyharris.com/bam. But yeah, if you want to talk more about masterminds and you want me to refer you in some specific places, I know Nicole LaLoya, who is launching. I don't know if it's closed. I think it's open for another couple of days. I'm not sure the price point, but Nicole's amazing. She's got, I think it's called the Lady Boss Mastermind. If you look up Nicole LaLoya, anywhere on Twitter, let me double check how to spell her last name. I'm just jumping on my computer to look. She's a good friend of mine. She's been on the podcast before. It's Nicole, NicoleLiloia. She's got a mastermind that she just launched called the Life Boss Mastermind. I think it closes tomorrow, so it's definitely worth, it says on our Facebook page it closes tomorrow, so it's worth checking out. I'm not sure the price point on that one, I'm sorry. But definitely look at the coaches and the people who you admire and see if they offer masterminds. And then again, it can just be working with somebody one-on-one and then finding accountability partners to support you. It doesn't have to be a mastermind. But yeah, masterminds can be a total game changer. It looks like Nicole's is $997 or 6 payments of $197. So that's really, really reasonable for a mastermind. Yeah. That's amazing. So you might check her out. Again, it's NicoleLaLoya.com/lifeboss-mastermind. She's amazing. So that might be a good one. Anyways, engagement. For me, engagement is really about being super, super, super conversational. Questions are great, but also questions that aren't necessarily related to your business. One of my favorite things to do is sort of a what's your hustle? What are you working on today? What's going on that you have to do? Lacey Placey says, I thought masterminds were free. Masterminds can be free. Masterminds can 100% be free. Hi, Amanda. My very first mastermind I ever did was free. We pulled a group of women together and we masterminded. So it can absolutely be free. It doesn't have to be a paid. I like paid masterminds because they're coupled with some coaching. I'm more invested in anything. I have money on the table. They stretch me in a way that free can't. It's kind of like free challenges versus buying a program. I'm more likely to do what I need to do in a program than I am in a free program. Paid masterminds are better because people are invested. Exactly, Tony. So consider that when you're looking at free versus paid. And like I said, you can also do one-on-one coaching and pair that with some free accountability. So you have that 1-2 punch of both things. So one of my favorite things to do around getting engagement is a Q&A. But also, like, what are you listening to? Or on Mondays, I'll do sort of a what's your hustle for the week? What is the thing you have to get do? What is the thing you've been avoiding on your to-do list, which is what I'm dealing with today. Because for me, knowing that and having that clarity and accountability of saying it on social is really helpful. And it also gets my community engaged. They want to share what they have because they are also looking for that accountability, just like you guys are looking with the masterminds. So just have conversations. Remember, it doesn't always have to be directly related to what you're trying to sell them. Just talk to them about life. So engagement is key. My challenge for you today is to brainstorm some ways that you can get more engaged with your community on social. Brainstorm some tweets, some Facebook updates, some Google Plus updates, LinkedIn updates, whatever networks you're using, some Periscope topics. Brainstorm them, put them in a document. It can be paper, it can be a Google Drive document, put it in Dropbox, whatever works for you, however you store your stuff, and start using that. Start sharing it. Remember that stuff can be recycled. You can use it across different networks. But when you post it, when you get involved, stay involved. Have that conversation that comes after the question. And remember that it's hard to get seen if you've not been engaging before. So it may take some time. It might not blow up today. That means tweak and try new things and keep at it. But like everything else, consistency is critical in getting engagement. Consistently quality content, but also consistently encouraging them to engage. My biggest struggle is being consistent. It's so hard to stay focused and be consistent. It is, and that's where pairing some of those scheduling tools comes in really handy. For me, I schedule what's called a social media foundation, which is the stuff that has to go out. My podcast episodes, my web shows, my promos for webinars, things like that, so that I can take 15, 20 minutes here and there and jump in and say, hey guys, let's talk. I can jump in and be engaged and say, I can find time to do this. This honestly is happening because I had a call cancel. I wasn't planning to do a Periscope till later today, but I had a client cancel. So it worked out. You guys get me instead. But scheduling that time to schedule stuff out, but also scheduling that time each day. And it doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to be all day. 15-minute chunks with dedicated action. So 15 minutes to go in and engage in a Facebook group, 15 minutes to respond to tweets, 15 minutes to engage in a LinkedIn group, whatever it is for you, 15 minutes to Periscope. Whatever it is for you, time chunks and assigned tasks are going to be a game changer in staying focused and consistent. Posting in groups is huge. Just owning what's possible for you to sustain in terms of consistency. Great point, Amanda. Be clear on what works for you. I talk about this a lot in the concept of content creation. I put out 3 pieces of content every week. I have a podcast that goes live twice a week and a web show that goes live once a week. It took time to get there. I used to post a blog once a month, and I had a really hard time keeping up with that. Start with what works for you. What works for somebody else might not work for you. Doing a Periscope every day might be insane for you. Then don't do a Periscope every day. Posting 27 tweets a day might be crazy to you. Then don't post 27 tweets a day. Post what works for you. As far as Facebook groups, don't be in 500 Facebook groups. Narrow that down to groups that are actually worth your time. Groups where you're engaged, groups where you're getting quality leads, groups where your peers are, or groups where your ideal clients are. Not them. You don't have to be in all of them. All of them are not worthwhile. I know it's crazy. Mine is definitely worthwhile. TheStaceyHarris.com/VIP. That Facebook group you should definitely be in. Definitely. Okay, so I'm going to start wrapping this up. Do you guys have any more questions for me? Thanks for everybody who stuck out live. I know I've kind of rambled today. I've been all over the place today, but that's part of the charm. Part of the charm. Before I let you guys go, last day to get the Kick-Ass Now bundle, 25% of everything is going to Kiva Loans for women entrepreneurs around the world. Yes, my Facebook group is free. Tony said, should I scope if I don't have a plan? Yes, my scopes yesterday were not a plan. Both of the ones that happened in the car yesterday afternoon were not planned. I had time and I jumped in and I just engaged. And it's awesome. It's called the Hit the Mic VIP community. If you go to thestaceyharris.com/VIP, you can get on the list and it'll send the links to you. You can do Q&As. You can talk about what are you doing today. You can talk about, what is your struggle. Yesterday morning I did a totally random one in the car on the way to an event as well. That was kind of ranty because something had happened to me in a Facebook group the night before and I was still thinking about it. Seriously. I try and keep mine pretty short because it's hard to keep people engaged. But I also tend to go for as long as there's people here. And one of the reasons I'm cutting it short now is because I'm starting to see the number drop. I'm starting to see you guys leaving, which means for me, that's the hook. It's time for me to go. So definitely pay attention to those numbers. Pay attention to what you're talking about. But often it's just as much as I have time for. Sometimes that means it's 10 minutes. Sometimes that means it's 20 minutes. Sometimes that means it's 5 minutes. As much as you have time for. Cool? All right, yeah. Check out the VIP community. Check out the Kick-Ass Now bundle because, again, $1,300 worth of trainings for $75, including Facebook ads, Instagram, Pinterest, social media strategy, webinars, Hangouts on Air, time management, getting things done, a ton of stuff. And 25% of all of the sales from that is going to Kiva loans for women entrepreneurs around the world to fulfill my goal of loaning to one women-owned business in every country available on Kiva, which is 84 countries. So I'm excited. Today's the last day to get that though. So check that out. It's in the VIP community, or you can go to thestaceyharris.com/kickassbundle. All right? All right. Thank you, Tony. You're awesome too. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.